just going to go ahead with it. Good morning, my name is Kirsty Dignam and I'm here to look at, I don't know. No, the plan is to look at the weekly energies with today's Monday's musings. However, I'm open to whatever needs to be received and shared as a result of being here. Not just with this video, but life in general. This is the second or third time I've tried to start the video and I've tried to do it properly. I've tried to do it from a place of feeling uplifted at times when I don't. I've tried to do it from a place of inauthenticity, and it's that has actually stopped this video from occurring. So what have I done? Pressed play, turned up, and just let's see what actually wants to be said without this need to be polished, to be perfect. We do have a solar eclipse today, and I am a fire sign. So a solar eclipse for me is a real emphasis on areas where my light may be put out, dimmed, blocked, shadowed, overwhelmed even. And I actually have a lot of star aspects in my chart in the solar side of things. So the way that I communicate, the way that I'm seen. My sun is in Leo, my ascendant is in Aries. So we have these big major players, and I have things like Mercury and Jupiter also in Leo. So when the lights go out for me, the lights go out, and there's no denying that potential at the moment for myself, and the importance of feeling into that, the importance of going there, of holding space for that, of witnessing that, so that the other side, what comes out, is more reflective of where I am. And I share that because there are many sides to this cosmic coin that is occurring at the moment. On the one hand, I'm seeing a lot of people full of energy, and I can feel that. We're in an Aries new moon underneath it all, of course. There is that potential there of new beginnings, of long-term commitments, of putting in the graft. And yeah, there's a great collective experience to be had there. We're also an eclipse of light. So we're also having that moment where the emotions are coming up to be seen, to be felt, to be heard, in order to truly see what lights us up. And that is the other side of the coin. So I'm also seeing people that are low, that feel as if they have no energy, that they have no spark, that they can't continue, as many old wounds and old patterns are rising to the surface to be seen, particularly in how we are seen, particularly in how we view ourselves in the different stages, in the normal. I want to put it out there, the normal, perfectly normal movement of vibration that we all feel in the experience of what it is to be human. I'm also seeing on the other side, I'm going to say situations that seem imbalanced but are actually more one-sided than the other. And when we have that eclipse energy, it is a great opportunity to pause and see how in harmony we actually are. An example, when things get low for me or lower in vibration, I want to really put that out there. It's not that they're low, but they're lower in vibration. They're more dense, they're more earthy, they're more feminine in vibration. When that happens for me, I kind of welcome it, because I know there's deep roots occurring and I know that I can be held and nurtured. However, there's also a lighter energy trying to come in for me, which I have a bit more resistance with because of my own wounding in regards to the masculine and spiritual energy and actions as a result. So the other thing I want to share, really now would be a great time if you're into that sort of thing. Actually, no, regardless of whether you're into it or not, now is a great time to really know yourself. To really look into what is actually occurring for you, even if that means sitting back and writing it down as if you were watching yourself. What is occurring for you? Really knowing yourself. What is actually being shown, being highlighted, being put into the shadows? How is that impacting your view of the world, your view of others, and dare I say it, what you expect of them? Really looking into that, because our projections, our expectations are often a reflection of ourselves, often a reflection of what we want for ourselves. So where am I going to go with that? Well, it doesn't feel as if I need to go anywhere else with that. That's the other energy that's coming to light this week. It is a solar eclipse. It's huge, right? Our ancestors would have thought the end of the world. Okay, the world itself goes quiet. Even birds stop singing when there's an eclipse. There's a real momentary pause, almost like a moment of silence for what was. And yes, that potential is there. However, it is big. But all that seems to be needed is an awareness. All that seems to be needed is a knowing of what is occurring. Recognizing things that are hidden means they are no longer hidden. When they are no longer hidden, they no longer have this unknown power over the situation. And when things are seen, 9 times out of 10, that's all that's required. They are then heard. We feel as a result, we feel into those sensations, we hold space for them, and we allow the energy to shift. The eclipse is only momentary, just like everything that we're feeling. Good, bad, positive, negative, however you want to look at it. What matters is the balance that you have in your own ability to be in these extremes. Because that's the other emphasis of the eclipse. It is a time of extremes. It is a time of both sides of the coin wanting to be heard. What matters is we are the person flipping it. We are the person flipping the narrative. How strong do we feel in our own ability to do that? How open are we to receive whatever wants to come through as a result? How open are we to perhaps expanding the vision of ourself in that? Again, it's going back to that know thyself. There was a real missing aspect for me this week. I knew that I felt drained. I had a real sense of feeling invisible. One of the Moonai key rights that you receive, the Wisdom Keeper, is very much about doing things in the background, and I've always felt absolutely fine with that, very comfortable actually, to do my thing 9 times out of 10 on my own, if you will. Really, really comfortable, really, really confident in that. However, with the eclipse energy coming up, my Aries, my fire, yes, that's being shadowed. So there is a sensation there for me rising about feeling invisible that's coming back from childhood. And a lot of these things are going to come back from childhood or from ancestral wounds that as a child we've taken on. From the age of 0 to 5 is where we learn the most, where we learn who to be and how to be. And that's the age we're most impressionable. Now, I myself can go back to that time and see a lot that has happened in my childhood. So of course, that's going to take some time to unravel, and allowing yourself that compassion this week is really, really key. And there's something in that yes, there's the solar eclipse, but I didn't say allow yourself compassion in the solar eclipse. It was this week. There are other things going on too. Sometimes I can definitely relate to this when there are certain aspects that feel very dark and very heavy. It can feel as if that's everything, that is all there is, that is all there is to focus on. There are other things going on, and sometimes not to bypass or distract, it can be very beneficial to step back and just look at the other things that are going on as well, to keep that balance. Life is balance, and it is up to us to find that balance. Now, I'm not suggesting if you're in a great place, go out and find something not great to bring you down. What I'm suggesting is if you're in a great place, apply that to life. Bring it into the physical. Yeah, or know that you will be asked to do so one way or another. A couple of weeks ago, an example, I was really high, really buffed up on life. It was just incredible. And then within a few days, I just come back down again. That extreme energy. But in that extremity, what I realized was to take that high and start really putting it into situations that can make this more tangible, more physical, more real. Okay, so these extremes, yeah, they are necessary. We go high, we dream, we bring in that vision, and then we come down into our physical body, and we will feel things that are rising to say, well, I've stopped you from doing that. I'm a block here. Can you give me another role? I'd like to help you, but actually I need another purpose here. But it's really important that we feel them, that we know that, okay, so these ideas are great, but the reason I haven't is because I'm still holding on to X, Y, and Z. Okay? So, compassion throughout the week, there are other things going on. And one of the other things going on is this devil comet. Okay, this archetype of the devil, the light bringer, acknowledging that whatever is going on here, even if it feels as if the light is being taken out from you, it is about bringing back a stronger, more fuller, more real light. Okay, so really holding space for that, keeping that at the end game, keeping that in your vision is going to be key. Having compassion for yourself throughout the process, knowing that this is about ups and downs, this is about both sides of the coin, your own included. Okay, so being open to other ways of seeing things, other perspectives, other journeys perhaps for some people as well, and that may come to the light. It has to call to the heart, it has to bring you alive, and if it doesn't, really feeling into why it doesn't, how it's helped you to get to know yourself, and how you can bring back that spark, whether it's relationships, whether it's yourself, whether it's your work, whatever that may be. Getting to know yourself. So I knew that I have a ascendant in Aries, so I expected the feeling invisible sensation to come to the surface. It's an old wound, kind of knew that was coming to the surface, because there's value in recognition. No matter how saintly we try and be, there's value in recognition. We all say that we don't do it for the likes and the da-da-da. Take them away. Take all of these things away. Would you still be doing what you're doing? And that's an important question to ask yourself this week. Why are you doing what you're doing? Take away the things that make it valuable to you. Would you still be doing it? And there's no judgment there. One, that's going to emphasize and strengthen why you do what you do and the values that you've put on it. And two, it's going to help you see whether or not they're still applicable. Things change, we change, the world changes. Yeah, our values, our morals, they also change. They can be flexible. Believe it or not, they can be flexible. I also knew that my sun sign, my Leo, my very being is in Leo. It's in a sun sign. So yes, my whole life, my whole innocence, the childhood energy, the vibrance that I feel was going to take a whack. I knew that because, of the Leo. I knew the communication was going to feel a little bit more restricted, and I knew I was going to feel smaller because I have Jupiter and I have Mercury in Leo, which, they're all doing their thing as well, right? Now, I'm not sharing this so that you go out and find out your own astrology, although it really doesn't hurt to understand how external factors affect us. And that's what astrology does. That's what the tarot does. It helps us to see how the external views and what's going on around affects us as a reflection. So it doesn't hurt to do that. But what I am suggesting is that you know what's going on for you and perhaps why. Okay, so that you can have some informed consent, some control over what you're saying yes or no to, rather than this subconscious, almost hidden energy making up those decisions, whether that's in a child, whether that's values you've inherited that are no longer applicable or applicable, either or. What is actually running the driving seat for you? What is giving you the source of everything that you do? For us on the human level, of course, it's the sun. So when that gets blocked out, we do question that. And it wasn't until this morning that I put the final aspect into play. We have a lot going on with Chiron. I've written all about this in a blog, which you can find on the website, and I'll put a link to. But we have a lot going on with Chiron, the centaur, the wounded healer. The third, even though not linked, the third astrological sign of fire, which is Sagittarius. I hadn't looked into that. Even though I could feel underneath it all a wavering faith, a existential crisis, an identity crisis, I could feel all of these things coming up. I hadn't looked into that until today. And yes, of course, I have Neptune in Sagittarius. So yes, I'm all for the bigger vision. I am all for the psychic energy. I am all for healing coming through. The more expanded version of what I can be. I am all for faith and connection. So as a fire sign, with those emotions engulfing that, I am going to question that. So that's perfectly normal. And that's why I share all of this. That's why I share anything relatable. We're all going through a process that is individual and unique to us. We are all having our light for a moment paused so that we can feel into, are we still that person? For some, have we ever been that person? Where has that identity come from? Does it still give us life? Does it still sustain us? Really sensing into that, not based on what anyone else says, myself included. This is a moment to be totally undefined by others. The world will pause, the birds will stop singing, everything will become very, very quiet for a split second. Do so yourself. Take a moment, either with the eclipse or at any point during life, really, particularly before important decisions this week, especially in regards to, what you do and who you are. Take a moment, pause, allow what is actually happening in the sky. We see it as the moon engulfing the sun, as the feminine taking over the masculine. Maybe, just maybe, in that moment, they are uniting. They are touching and becoming one. Sensing into that, allowing your actions to be intuitively led beyond the faith you think you have, beyond the identities you may have developed, beyond everything you believe you are, the very light that you are. Expand a little bit here by being smaller, by coming within, by feeling. There is a beautiful opportunity to see the whole archetype of Aries completely differently. The beginning of the astrology charts, the beginning of the zodiac wheel. To see that beginning completely differently. Not just a spark, but the big fucking bang. So on that note, I think that's enough. I'm going to look into the energies this week and how to best navigate them. I kind of feel like I want to do a two-parter. Like, that in itself was more than good enough. Nothing else is needed. And it may be beneficial to separate things this week. So yes, just feeling into that. So I'm going to give people the option. I'm going to stop this video here because there are two sides to the coin. So if you feel you've had enough with that first part to give you the information that you need for this week, don't feel like you have to watch the other part. If you think, oh look, 2 of cups at the bottom of the pack. If you feel as if you want more, continue watching the rest of this video. But I'm just going to stop it now and I'm going to take a moment to enjoy that pause. So for those of you that have stayed on, welcome back. For those of you that have only come into the second half, hello. And for those of you that have continued to watch it all from the very beginning and are staying through to the end, thank you. Let's look at the energies this week and how to best navigate them. And there's something in that, we may dip our toes in and out. We may be there for the beginning and not for the end. We may see the whole thing play out. Recognizing that with people in our lives as well this week. Yeah, I can really feel that. It can almost help us give compassion and forgiveness for the expectations we may have had of them. So I can feel that in relationship to my father. We all expect certain people to be in our life for the long haul. And if we just realised that everyone was there for the time being, for the time that was needed, we could just enjoy them a little bit more perhaps. I've noticed a big clearing. I've noticed a big shift coming with a lot of the groups that I have on my phone. I've deleted a lot of them. And I've noticed myself returning to pages because I feel like I should, or following people because I feel like I should. There's something still there. And actually I can really feel this week that there comes a time when enough is enough, and to recognise people are only in our life for a certain amount of time, and situations as well, that we've got all that we need to really feel into whether we have got all that we need as well. So being prepared for that this week, being prepared for that, and realising that it's not personal. We all evolve. And the beauty behind wanting people to, or situations even, to be in our life longer than what they were supposed to. Yeah, that's quite beautiful, to want more of something or someone because we loved it so much, or enjoyed it so much, or felt connected. That's a beautiful thing, and the very idea of it actually goes on longer than any of our expectations ever could. Okay. So the Knight of Wands at the bottom of the pack. I feel a lot of information coming in here, and I feel a lot of people being on the same page with some of the stuff coming through. Now, because we're experiencing the same things doesn't mean we need to do it together. If anything, in order to expand the reach of the healing, the insights, the wisdom that is coming in, it's actually more beneficial to do it in our own ways, in our own collectives, if you will, not cliques, collectives, if you will, so that we get a more expanded vision here, and to really feel into that. So if you're finding that you're very much the same as people in that group, it can be great to find your tribe. Of course it can. Is there growth there? Is there growth to be surrounded by people that agree with you? Are you learning anything different? Much as it can be uncomfortable to be in situations where we are being questioned, it helps us stand in our own resolve. So if someone or a situation is bringing out a reaction in you, there's something to be discovered there. So we can either shelter ourselves from the fire, or we can prepare ourselves to walk through it and become it. And the fire being transformation. The fire being, I've seen a few posts actually, Lee Harris is an incredible intuitive. And he's written something about the eclipse being a storm of transformation. Not in a way, but transformation for what it is. Transformation is change. If we're feeling aggy this week, if we're feeling as if we're being engulfed or put out or blocked, have we transformed the situation that we're in? If so, why are we still staying there? Or do we need to transform it? Does that involve moving away from it? If something causes a reaction and you've looked at it every way, shape or form that you can, do you still need to be there? Maybe that's the final step of the transformation. Really feeling into what is being asked to change and evolve through you this week. And trusting that. Really try, because I feel quite a lot of heaviness around my head. Really trusting what you feel without the judgment. Maybe I shouldn't feel that. Maybe I shouldn't need this. Maybe I should. Trust. Come back into the core, because that's the transformation. That's what it's all about. It's what all the situations are about. It's what life is about. Getting to know yourself. I hear the song, Getting to Know You. Yes, getting to know yourself. That's what's that, the King and I. Okay, so we do have the Knight of Wands at the bottom of the pack. So being very aware of, I wrote about it in the blog this week, changes in leadership, who we follow, why we follow, how we lead, but also in relation to the royal family as well. So the King and I. That didn't pop into my head for no reason, but that's had the attention that it now needs. So let's move on. Energies this week: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Overall, yeah, I'm not surprised to see that Queen of Wands at the bottom of the pack overall. It was her energy, that feminine energy, that was in the middle of these videos. You had the Two of Cups before I stopped the other video, and in the pause is the Queen of Wands. In the pause of the eclipse is the nurture of genuine light, is the nurture of transformation, is the fire returning that has actually been knocked out of a lot of people far longer than 7 o'clock tonight, and it's being returned. So allowing the nurture of that, holding space for that, witnessing that, really looking into yourself. You see how she just looks straight through you, really looking into yourself. It isn't this one situation that's causing whatever is coming up. It isn't this one person. It isn't this one lunar or solar eclipse. It isn't whatever is going on in the news. This has been something that has been building. She is the Queen of Wands. This has been nurtured and tended to, and this is all part of the transformation this week. So really, my eyes feel like they're burning in the most glorious way. Really feeling that, yeah, the heat is coming up the body, and I see the plant out of Little Shop of Horrors. Got loads of musicals going on today. Out of Little Shop of Horrors, Feed Me Now. This is a hunger that has been building within us all for the feminine to be seen as she is and to be acknowledged and to take center stage. Okay, so earlier when I said about the King and I said that's enough of that energy. Now I'm going to move on. Monday, that is the decision that we're making. And the relief off the chest that can come with that, the relief to the heart that says I don't have to keep doing that, it doesn't make me feel good, or it isn't relevant to where I am. I'm happy that I've shared all that I need to share there, I've done all that I need to do here, I'm going to move on, is evident in the lovers on the Monday. Making that decision with compassion for yourself and then for everyone else involved. When we put ourselves at the center stage of our own healing, here you see the serpent and the tree and the apple. I don't know if you can see that. Right in the middle, okay? When we put ourselves at the center of our own healing, when we truly bite from the wisdom of who we are, when we get to know ourselves, that's when we provide what it is we are here to provide for others. That's when the decisions become a lot more easier, and that's where we open our eye to who we actually are and what is expected of us as a result. So I know that I can continue to read on the King and probably get a lot more views than I would normally on this one. But I also know there are enough people out there with wonderful connections to that situation that are already doing that. So go and find them. That's not what is being asked of me. I'm really feeling into that on the Monday and standing firm with that, because on the Tuesday, it's that that's going to unlock a different potential that has been waiting specifically for you. Now, it's not to say that anyone else couldn't do it. It's not personal. When the world has an agenda, when there are things, when the feminine has an agenda and there are things that need to come through, yes, you are given this gift, this idea, be it a story, be it a business, be it a dream, a vision, whatever that may be, you are given this idea. If you do not act on it or open up to receive it and what is being asked of you as a result, it will move on to somebody else. That isn't personal, that's evolution, baby. So on the Tuesday, you are being given the option, we are being given the option to stand between these two polarities, to stand between these extremes. Even though the solar eclipse is on the Monday, it is going to affect for the next 6 months, but definitely this week. It's still going to have an effect this week because things are going to become revealed after. Yeah, even though it feels intense for some leading up to it, the intensity is going to come the other side. You're going to have the opposite of whatever you're doing leading up to it, the other side. So being prepared for that, in that duality, in knowing that they are both aspects of your journey. On the Tuesday, yes, there is an opportunity of something being opened up as a gift within you that is for you. Obviously, if you don't act on it at one point, it will go to somebody else because that is evolution. But for this moment in time, feeling into that, not having to react from a place of fear, feeling into the knowing that at this point in time, that idea is for you. It's opening up you. Therefore, it's beneficial that it be you doing it. If you open to that, it will continue. If not, and you close down, then it will go to someone else that it can help, because that's co-collaboration. It's for the world, but it's for you, and it's for you, but it's for the world. And that is what's being expanded this week. Sagittarius is the other fire sign. So we're really feeling into, does this help humanity? Do I see myself as part of that humanity? Does this help me? Am I helping humanity? Okay, so really going into that in the Two of Wands. The key, my throat felt really thick and just really full and powerful then. The key is, in our voice perhaps, well for me it will be. The key is recognizing the healing that is being asked of you. So for me, yes, it's my voice. I can feel that. The key is Chiron. The key is whatever you now need to heal. Okay, and doing so by feeling into it and allowing that to be the first action. This is the Two of Wands. The two, remember the beginning. Okay, this eclipse, these extremes, they are just the beginning. They're not everything. There are other things that will come into play. Okay, so really allowing yourself that curiosity. What's in the box? Yeah, what's in Pandora's box at the bottom of it all is hope. But what's in the box of you? What treasures are there to be unlocked? We can look at whatever's coming up with this eclipse as and it's understandable. Gosh, some of it I think really, that's a pain in the ass. I thought I'd done that. But it's understandable. But we can look at it from that perspective or with curiosity. oh, I wonder what this is about. So I had this dream, I had this idea, I had this longing, and now these blocks are coming up. They're working together. They're helping that dream become a reality, but it's up to us to see that. It's up to us to unlock that potential by being open to the reality of that. On the Wednesday, if we do so, we become a lot more grounded in the vision that we have. So this is the Queen of Pentacles. But what I love here is, yes, she has the necklace. Oh, I have my Northern Lights necklace. That would be nice. Yes, she has the necklace around her, but she also has the pentacle. And it looks like the Maltese cross here. It really does look like the Maltese cross. So what I see there is the Knights Templar. What I see there, and that brings such joy to my heart when I say it out loud. That's a journey of my own. But what I see there is the Knights Templar, and what I see there is the vision of the feminine has been what has always protected her. And it's actually the masculine actions that has allowed that to continue to grow, no matter how it may feel. And really being grounded in that, really being grounded in how we see ourselves. So when I said about the Knights Templar, it made my heart swell because I know that's in my lineage. And yeah, just really seeing that as part of myself has just made my heart swell. So how you see yourself this week, particularly on the Wednesday, how you see your own vision, how you see your ability to create your vision through how you see yourself on the Wednesday is going to be key and really help you ground into who you are. And the nurture that is required and the feminine that you have grown to be, regardless of gender. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So on the Thursday, yeah, something's coming along on the Thursday in the Seven of the Wands, and it's like standing in the doorway. Again, my throat's going. Stand up, I see Gandalf, you shall not pass. Standing in the doorway, you can turn around and face your past and keep trying to combat it or not allow it through, or you can just turn around and walk through. There is big portals of energy, but none bigger than your own potential and your own body and your own ability to become in every moment who you've always been. So what are you going to focus on the Thursday? You don't need to defend your truth. You don't need to defend your desires. You don't need to defend what is happening for you. You don't need to find other people that you can compare yourself against, other people that you can relate to make what's going on for you more real. What is happening for you, okay? And in that moment, that is your journey. That's where you'll find the light, not from the light of others. You'll find the light from yourself and your own ability to keep moving into the wisdom that is you on the Thursday. On the Friday, yes, that opens the heart. We have the Ace of Cups, and this is where we have that beautiful, almost reconnection to Source. It's not that what was there before wasn't real. It's not that what was there before wasn't divine. When we grow, so too does our awareness of everything. And that really makes me feel as if whoa, that could be channeling energy on the Friday. That could be really, that's strong on the Friday, the energy that's coming in. I'm trying to think, what am I doing on the Friday? Be interesting. But yes, that's really strong, the energy on the Friday. I know that on the 20th, I'm getting ready to go to Avebury to work with the dragons and the ley lines, and I really feel lots of shifts coming through, and it could start to build from the Friday onwards. But either way, it's not what you believed in wasn't real. Whether that's a relationship, whether that's a job, whether that's your purpose, whether that was a person, whether that's faith itself, it's not that it wasn't real. But as you grow, so too does your awareness around that. Unconditional love doesn't come with conditions, it's unconditional, which means the good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent, ourselves included, and opening our heart to all of that. It's just going to take things to another level on the Friday. On the Saturday, that does mean a need to move forward now, okay, and to really look at what's guiding us. So on this card, I can only just about see the hooded character here guiding. And it doesn't matter what we see as guiding us, but to be aware that it's guiding us. That took a bit of figuring out on the Saturday. And mentally, yeah, if we're going to restore any harmony, which is the 6, we must remember we're the captain of our own ship, but that other things may be steering that a little bit, and just to be more open and conscious of that. It doesn't mean that it needs to change. So the Six of Swords in the normal tarot, everything that has happened leading up to that, the Five of Swords that has led up to that, is actually plugging the holes of the boat. So they've been necessary mindsets, necessary values, necessary morals. They are merely helping us get to where we need to be. So on the Saturday, we have a choice whether to focus on the ideas, to focus on what has got us where we are, or to focus on where we're going. Which one is actually going to steer us forward? And there's no judgment there. It could be the morals. It could be you think, right, throughout my life I've really learned to be strong and independent, and that right now is what I need. Okay. Or it could be, I don't need to do that anymore. I'm going to ask myself. I did it today. I'm going to ask for help and get some aid. So really just being aware of what is guiding the ship so that you can make sure you're in alignment with it. There's no point being independent and then, an example, no point being an independent person and then needing help but refusing to ask for help, because that's independence as well. Seeking what you need as a result of where you are is a very independent thing to do. So being aware of what is guiding the ship, what is moving you forward, and how in harmony and alignment they are with you. Okay. On the Sunday, we have the Page of Wands, and I really feel like I'm kind of stuck here. So let's feel into this. So the dragon on the outfit is around the heart. The wands that are in the 2 and the 7 are being held. I see a younger version of the Queen of Wands. On the Sunday, it really feels like a triple aspect here. I see the triangle as well. It really feels like a triple aspect here, an opportunity to restore balance. All triangles, this is an equilateral one, so the equal sides. A chance to bring forth the two aspects, the two extremes that have been occurring through childhood play. Thank you. And that took quite a while. That took quite a while to realise what was in front of me. Quite a while to, my initial reaction was, oh, the Page of Wands, a new beginning, new spiritual beginning, blah, blah, blah. And oh, it's going to be nurtured by the Queen of Wands. And yeah, all those normal things. But actually on the Sunday, we're asked to dig a bit deeper, not to get heavier, but to dig a bit deeper into what would our child say? Our childlike self, if they saw that card, what would they say if they saw what was going on? What would they say if they saw the job that we had or the relationship that we had? What would our child say? Now, I'm not suggesting we let our inner child, I hear why not, but I'm not suggesting we let our inner child navigate the boat, but be aware when they are. Yeah, be aware when perhaps we could do with their input. Be aware what that means to us. What does our inner child look like to us? So I had to really dig deeper here. Beyond what I would imagine a child to be, to go right into that imagination, right into that awareness, and right into that fire, that flame, that spark here. Really going, whatever it is you're trying to bring forth this week with the eclipse, really going into it further, beyond what you can see. Look at that Queen. She's looking right through the situation. Look right through it. Underneath it all, what is actually being noticed here? Well, the dragons around the heart. The fact that the wand is being held, the wand throughout it all is being held. The dragon energy is around the heart and the calling that is coming up, and that this is a younger version of the Queen of Wands. Whatever is going on this week is a younger version of long-term plans. How can we nurture that? By stepping back, by looking at what's going on. So we have one major arcana here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 1. 1, 1, 1. 1, 1, 1. Looking out for signs. I've been getting a lot of angelic numbers lately, and much as I've kind of passed that, which is awful, isn't it? My inner child isn't, obviously, but my adult self has kind of been a bit complacent, like, yeah, okay, great, yeah, great, whatever. Recognising I've put out my own spark a little bit over the last few weeks, months, dare I say years sometimes, by not acknowledging the energy that it takes to give that sign. You know, when we see a feather on the stairs, there was a time that would excite the shit out of me. And now it's kind of like, oh yeah, a feather. It's become my normal everyday life. So being aware of that, being aware where it's up to us to restore that spark this week. So yes, 1, 1, 1 with the other suits. We have one major arcana this week, how we connect to ourself, our own wisdom, and the choices that we make as a result of that in the Lovers. It comes from the heart space, always comes from the heart. And sometimes we can particularly the Lovers is a Gemini, right? Be very undecided, overthink, whatever. Sometimes we can really think, oh, maybe it's because of this, maybe it's because of that. What would the heart say? Without the judgments, without the expectations or the what's, the how's, the when's, the why's, the trauma, the journeys, all of it. What would the heart say? That's that inner child. That's that Page of Wands. That's that here is my heart. Yeah, take care of it. Don't break it. What would the heart say in that situation? What's really going on here? What's really going on? See the heart as the sky. So we have the moon, which is the emotions, which is the sacral. We have the sun, which is, the crown, the third eye, the light. The heart is the sky that holds it all. What would the heart say? Well, the heart actually, of course, is the earth. What would that grounded physical bodily aspect of us say? Really feel into that for the wisdom that it brings. Decisions will be much easier from there. We then have 5 wand cards. So that turning point does come from the fire this week, and we know that. And that's why for some, when it's been taken away, it's like, oh my God, what do I do without my fire, without my drive, without my passion, without my ambition? And for others that have a lot of it, it's like, let's just do this. So we know that the amount of fire that we have, the amount of spirit and drive and passion that we have is the changer. It is the decider. So if we're not feeling it, if we are feeling a little bit run down or burnt out, then don't do. Be. If we are feeling, I've got loads of energy, then share. This is where we get a chance collectively and individually to recognize our cycles and to become part of a bigger flow here of that Aini. Okay, I'm feeling a little bit lacking. So I'm not going to give, I'm going to be. And okay, I've got lots, so I'm going to give. Okay, so that's helped me, that'll help you. Really keeping that flow going here. Will be the 5 of Wands. So we do have, obviously keeping that balance, the Knight of Wands, you don't want to outbalance yourself, but the Queen of Wands here recognizes that in order to nurture ourselves, we nurture each other and vice versa. Okay, so if we do recognize that we're feeling a little bit, ask for help. That can be a very difficult thing, but the most nurturing thing that you can do. And if someone asks you for help and you can, why wouldn't you? Feeling into that, why wouldn't you? Perhaps you have a good valid reason there, but it's that's going to unlock any healing either or. So if you want to help and you don't, that's going to unlock some healing. If you help and you don't want to, or you are unable to, that's going to unlock some healing as well. And actually recognizing if you don't want to, that's probably because you're unable to for whatever reason. You could be burnt out, or you just could not be at that level that person needs, and that's okay. Tending to a fire that is sacred, that burns steadily rather than causing burnout, putting out someone else's flame, sparking people up, or dare I say it, burning the whole place down. Really tending to that this week as we mature with what it means to defend the light that we are purely by being it. So then we have 1 Pentacle card, which is the Queen of Pentacles, and is how we see our own physical human existence. We can talk about the feminine, we can talk about the different guides. I myself am noticing this week in particular, feeling quite miffed. A lot of people are seeing Mother Mary as apparitions, which is beautiful, and I'm seeing Mary Magdalene, and trying not to have that judgment there. Those two different sides of the feminine, the saintly, the mother, the good girl, the perfect example of what a woman should be, and then thankfully now the saint, but originally the whore. Totally disregarded, brought to the surface because of Jesus's love and not able to stand in her own. So the more not so good feminine, if you will, and knowing that that's what I'm holding space for right now and being okay with that has really come up. So really looking at how we see ourselves and our physical body and how we embody the feminine, all aspects of the feminine here, because Mary Magdalene and the work that I've done with Mary Magdalene very much talks about physical mediumship and the ability to use the body to do so. So if we're not going to ground into the body, we're going to lose an aspect of potential, of spirituality, of it all. Okay, so really we're going to lose, yes, of course, an aspect of the vision here. One cup card, always the heart, always the heart. Keeping the heart topped up, ensuring that you come from a place of love as much as you can, and those moments that you can't, then you come from a place of love for that, because that's all part of it as well. Okay, allowing those emotions to rise, to feed from them, to really experience what your heart is trying to say to you now is going to be key. Opening up to yourself as a result. And it's that that's mentally going to move us forward and help us with the decisions. It's that that's going to help us realize what's navigating the boat. Can we not just let our heart do the steering this week? It may just be that restores the balance between any of the extremes that we are feeling. Have the most incredible week. Remember, a coin has two sides, but ultimately it's up to us which one we want to flip, which one we want to see, and which one we no longer need to look at. Take care. Have the most incredible week. I'll see you soon.